This is homework for 9:30:15. Remember to be sure and not just watch, but also listen, in case there's something that I ask you to write down so you can get 50 out of 50 for doing your homework and checking your homework. We have a situation with two skating companies, Rollaway Skates and Wheelie Skates, and A says for each company is the relationship between the number of people and the cost a linear relationship. You should know that something is a linear relationship if there is a constant rate of change. So we're going to check that for A. So here this is adding 5 and 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 adding 5. This is adding 1 every time. And so if you did the change in y values, 5, divided by the change in x values, you would get 5. So there is a constant rate of change there in that situation, and it's 5. On this one, this is adding 3, this is adding 3, and 3, 9, 10, 11, 12, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, and I don't have room to put the ones in over here, but this is 1, so 3 divided by 1 is 3, so there's a constant rate of change here, which is $3. So this is a linear relationship because both of them are, because there's a constant rate of change, and so I write yes, constant rate. And actually I'm going to say constant rates because both have constant rates. That's more than one, so it's plural. B, for each company, write an equation that represents the relationship between the cost and number of people. What is the dependent variable? What is the independent variable? First, the equation. At Rollaway Skates, if there's 0 people, there's 0 cost, and the constant rate of change was 5 every time. So C, the cost, is equal to 5 times P, P representing the number of people. At Wheelie Skates, it starts at $100, even if there's no people. That's probably for maybe renting the skating rink so no one else can come in. And then it goes up by 3 every time, plus 3, plus 3, plus 3. So their equation is C equals 3 times the number of people plus $100. And then it asks you what's the independent variable and what's the dependent variable. The independent variable is the number of people, and the dependent variable is the cost. The cost depends, dependent variable, on the number of people, and that's true in both situations. So I'm just going to write number of people, dependent, cost, independent. Last question. Describe how you can use the table or a graph to find when the cost of the two plans are equal, and how can this information help the student council decide which company to choose. If you were using the table, what you'd have to do is you'd have to extend the table out. So right now you have 8 people. You'd have to keep adding $5 and extend this table out. And here you'd have to keep adding $3. You'd probably want to wait on this one because you want this to get closer to this. And what you're looking for is when both of them have the exact same cost. Right now they don't have the same cost. If you're using a graph, you would extend each of the lines until the 2 lines intersected, and that's where the cost is equal. So I'm going to write extend table or graph until costs are equal. And now I'm going to go to a blank screen because I want to show you. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. So if you extended until they were equal, the way that would help the student council is they could decide how many people, so if they know how many people are going, they can figure out the cost that's cheaper at each company. Okay, and then there's one more thing that I'd like to show you, and I do want you to copy this down on your paper. I don't imagine you had this, but that's okay, I want you to write it down. Another way to do this is setting the two equations equal. So one equation was y equals 5x, and the other equation was y equals 3x plus 100. So since these are both equal to y, both equations are equal to y, you can write the two equations equal to each other. So you do this, you put 5x is equal to 3x plus 100. And I want you to show this work. You have to get the variable on just one side. Right now it's on both sides. So to do that, I'm going to go ahead and subtract 3x from this side, so there's no x's over here. And if I do that here, I have to do it on this side as well. That's going to give me 100 is equal to 2x. And now to solve this, the opposite of multiplication is division. So I'll divide here and I'll divide here. Divide by 2, divide by 2, x equals 50. When there's 50 people is when the cost is going to be the same. So using just algebra, I don't have to extend the graphs out. I can actually find the answer. All of this should be written down on your paper. All right, 7-minute video. I will see you tomorrow. Have a good night.